October 20th, 2008. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 57.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Big 5-7
with cheese.
Okay,
No.
This is turning into like Seinfeld, Steve,
Yes.
because you're trying to add a hook to every show. It's like,
Yes.
it's like, okay, well, we have the
Yes,
moose
I am.
show, we have the cheese show, we're going to
But
have the
I-
puffy shirt show.
The irony is that there's actually no cheese in this show.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
All right,
and,
this is the
it's the
Chevy
nope.
episode.
and because
It smells some foot cheese, but
and because the
other than
next show will be the night before the election, it's the McCain and Palin are Nazis show.
that-
Oh,
that's so the obvious tag show.
No,
Yeah.
we got to do like a porno one, like Nailin' Palin
All right,
episode.
you can do that one alone.
Yeah.
we can do red. We can do red versus blue.
What?
Well, Democrats versus Republicans, red versus
Oh,
versus blue. Yeah,
red
state,
states
blue
versus
state.
blue states.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can move dots around on a big whiteboard.
Yeah, there you go.
Republican versus Democrat rocket race.
Yeah.
We could do that little meter at the bottom of the episode while you're watching it on there, so you can see the crowd response.
Oh yeah, that worthless thing on CNN. It's like, is this a seismic
No,
activity at the
I loved,
debate?
No, I loved what Bill Maher said about it. He says, CNN, you got to remove that because every time McCain's talking, I think he's flatlining.
Yeah, that was great. I like how he brought the guy that actually did the thing onto the show. It's like, what's up with that?
All right, well, we should probably talk about games.
Yes.
No.
Well, why would we want it to be any different from the other podcasts?
Yeah. Well, how's that different?
'cause
from the
I'm
other
here.
50s? No. Okay. Well, before that, let's do the quick introductions. I have Brian on my left. I have Steve on my left. I have me
No, I thought I was on
Murdock.
your left.
On your left.
on my right.
Yeah.
Or on myself. And I have
Get him
Angry
off!
John,
Get him off!
who is subbing for Nice John, who is taking care of his girlfriend / wife /
Automaton.
automaton. Yes.
Yes. She's autonomic. She operates on her own.
Okay.
It's a technically accurate term.
But by the way, do you want to start doing like a sex droid update for every
That
podcast?
would totally
It's like how
be-
far the technology has gone.
No, because it would have to be like every 6 months or so.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, Steve, what the hell, man?
I just movies I haven't seen before.
I'm
just
going
have to
through
go with
Steve's Netflix movies, and he's got THX 113A.
Never seen it before.
What?
George Lucas's first movie.
I've never seen it before.
George
To be
Lucas has directed
completist.
2 good movies, and they were called American Graffiti and Star Wars.
Well,
Okay. What, you didn't like Empire? Just Star Wars?
he didn't direct that. He didn't
Oh.
direct that movie.
That was far better.
Okay. All right. So our first news, and this will probably interest Steve,
Nope.
R-Type Dimensions announced. It's R-Type and R-Type 2 and allows multiplayer
Hell yeah.
co-op play locally over XBLA for up to 2 players, and you fight all 14 levels. That's from R-Type 1 and 2. And the neat, with a question mark, thing is that you can switch from 2D to 3D graphics at the press of a button, and the 3D graphics are kind of tilted, and it's like looking down a hallway type of thing, and I can't see how that would make the game any easier.
Xblah, huh? Is that like a break-off sect of the Hezbollah?
No.
Yes, it is.
So, once again, R-Type is being ported to another system.
But
Yes.
now in 3D.
Wow. That never happens.
Yeah.
Now what we
I do
need
like
is,
the co-op, though. That's a neat
now what we need
add-on.
is about 4 or 5 magazines to all put up the different comparisons of screenshots between the platforms.
Oh, there's already a website on that, and it's R-Type's been on 20 different platforms by now at
Yeah.
least.
Yep.
So,
It actually looks better than it did in the arcade. Now,
well, there's actually a mode where it has a polygon mock-up of the arcade cabinet, and you can actually pretend like you're hunched over the arcade cabinet playing R-Type. It's like, okay, this is not making the game easier.
No.
So, anyway,
Yeah, don't care.
well, of course you don't care. You might. Well, I don't think you'll care about this one either, John. It's Tekken 6 Bloodline Rebellion for Xbox 360.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tekken has started to become the Madden of fighting games. Seriously.
Yeah.
So they have an exclusivity agreement with fighters.
No,
Yes.
with the NFL.
Yeah.
Strangely enough.
Yeah.
No, as in
Actually,
there's a new one every year.
On a more interesting note, I noticed that today that they announced on the 23rd of this week that you'll be able to download for an extra $5 either Yoda or Darth Vader for your respective
Soul
Soul
Calibur,
Calibur 4
which means that
game.
content was already on the disc.
Yeah, and you're paying
You're
an
just
extra
paying
$5
to
for that
unlock it.
one
Yeah.
character.
Now, if only I bought the game, and I haven't, and I'm not going to. So, what the fuck do I care?
Yeah, ditto.
You're not going to pick up Soul Calibur 4?
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
There's too many games, man. Fallout 3 comes out next week. I haven't picked up Saints Row 2. I still haven't picked up Force Unleashed. Gears 2 comes out in, what,
Yep.
2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many fucking games all of a sudden.
Plus, you got Macross.
Ace Frontier for the PSP,
Yeah.
which I'm going to need your help because I just read it, and apparently
It's a
the thing's
lot of text.
extremely menu heavy.
Yeah.
Apparently, just like UN Squadron, you have to buy all your weapons at the start of each
I bet
level.
it's simplistic text though. It's probably like hiragana.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
I
easily
don't
translatable.
think you know any katakana or hiragana, do you, John?
Well, I know the one with the squiggly lines.
Oh.
Sanskrit.
Well, you're set then.
Yeah.
The one with the squiggly lines. I
Sanskrit.
think you're in trouble, John.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So,
Is that the Dead Space cipher?
Oh, see, there's another one. Not Dead Space. I don't really care about
Left
Dead
4
Space.
Dead looks pretty
Left 4
cool
Dead.
too.
That's yeah.
I'm probably
And
gonna
then
get
the Prince of Persia comes out in December, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's like 3 or 4 games I can't think of. No, this holiday
yeah.
season wasn't looking very promising
It's
as
been
compared
so slow up until now.
as
It's all
compared to
hitting.
last year. I mean, last year was just a glut of games.
Yeah, but there's only a couple of really big titles
And then
last year.
this year I wasn't that impressed, and all of a sudden I'm like shit, I missed Saints Row 2. I'm like, I still haven't picked up Force Unleashed. I still haven't picked up Fallout 3. I mean, Fallout 3 is the RPG I've been waiting for like ever since freaking Mass Effect came out. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speaking
Yeah, it
of,
is
I
kinda-
borrowed that from a friend too, and I haven't touched it.
It kind of surprised me when I saw I hadn't even really thought about it for like 5-6 months until I saw the advertisement for Saints Row 2 on, I don't know, fucking something Spike probably. Like, oh yeah, I remember that game was coming out like a while ago. Huh. Well, I guess I'll wait to buy it.
I'm surprised that Rockstar. This would have been the perfect time to drop that GTA 4 downloadable content to say, "Hey, remember us?"
Well, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But anyway, the only reason I have the Tekken 6 thing on here is because it's a Sony-only game franchise, and to have it come out on something that's other than a Sony system, kind of a surprise.
Yeah. Once again, like I said, don't care. I mean, yeah, seriously. There's
well,
a new,
it's cool they're bringing in
no,
more
there's
of the crowd for
there's
it,
a new Tekken
but,
every year.
Yeah,
There-
I'm burned out on it
There's
too.
some that aren't. Yeah, there's some that maybe might not be numbered, but there's the Tekken on the PSP, and then
I don't know what it is, but almost
seriously,
always with almost every fighting game out there that's coming in a regular name fighting game, it's always the second one in the series that's my favorite. It was Mortal Kombat 2, Tekken 2 was my favorite. A lot of them,
Really?
it's always the second or
I always
third
thought Tekken
maybe.
3 was the best of the bunch myself.
3 was good, but I think 2 had a lot better movements. It had a lot more.
Well, 2 had the cheese. You could pick the angel and the demon that shot laser beams.
Well,
from his eye.
3
Oh,
had
no,
the
those-
cheese because it has Eddie.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't like Eddie,
Eddie
at
and
all,
Law.
Well, as a matter of
but I
fact,
didn't play as the
2
angel
was the
or
one
demon,
with the
but
infinite unlockable characters like Gon the Dragon and
No, that's 3.
oh, that's 3. Yeah, okay.
2 had
Alright.
some great combos, like by King. The
No,
what was
don't
the
say
Eddie,
combo.
The Romero special.
The Romero special, yeah, that was amazing.
All right, let's move on. So next up, the Xbox Experience, the new Xbox Experience, I should say, will start November 19th. So now you can create your own avatars and everything.
Yeah.
Won't that be fun?
No, shut the fuck
It's
up.
gonna become Simbox.
This is fucking retarded, man. I mean,
Sony's doing the same thing
Now,
at
I
home.
think
They're
it-
creating
it's
little
still
avatars you
optional,
can walk
though. You
around.
don't
with.
have
better
to
fucking
upgrade.
be. I don't want a goddamn me on my 360.
You do. You just don't know it yet.
How about I kick you in the nuts?
kick in.
Is that part of the new Xbox experience?
It ought to be.
You want it. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, so I want to kick in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do value my beanbag, but
Yes.
yeah,
And you do routinely make very bad decisions.
I do. So, but there you go. November 19th, you can create your own lowly avatar. Or
We
furry.
know you're gonna make a chick, Murdock. So.
I'm not even gonna bother with
Well,
it.
yeah. Why should you? I mean, the only people who should fuck around with that are people who are tired of playing with their Wii's.
And
Because-
people that actually have the gold membership.
Well, I have a gold membership. I'm not gonna bother with a fucking.
No, but I mean, he doesn't have the full
Oh.
on where we can. He's got the silver, so it doesn't matter.
Really?
Anyways.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't play games online anyway, so
Well,
why should I
yeah.
spend money on the gold membership?
Oh. Okay. Whatever.
So
Pretty much.
next up, and this would have interested Nice John, but since he's not here, but I'll announce it anyway. 99 Nights 2, more button mashing for your enjoyment.
I still couldn't get that 100th night.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't.
You don't like games like Dynasty Warriors and
No,
stuff like that.
I
Because
don't.
they're fucking repetitive, man.
I mean,
Well, they are.
you know me. I'm
They're
a huge.
really repetitive.
I'm a huge Gundam fan, and even with
Yeah.
Gundam Dynasty Warrior Gundam, I was bored with. I got bored during the demo. I downloaded the demo, and
Yeah.
5 minutes into it, I was like, "Wow, bored."
I
It takes too long to do anything.
I
in the
kind of liked
game.
99 Nights, but I liked Blade Storm better.
Well,
Let me just pull
Bladestorm is
that up.
made by the Dynasty Warriors
Yeah,
guys. It's in feudal England or something.
Well, and
or,
it's got
you know,
some better strategy elements to it too.
So next up,
I gotta see if I can find that cheap.
news that probably only interests me. The sequel to No More Heroes. It's called No More Heroes: Desperate Struggle. Announced. Don't know anything about it other than the name.
Did you go to Kotaku today at all? Because there's a
Uh,
big thing on there that says no more heroes anytime soon.
Yeah, it's not coming out until like
Yeah.
2010
Oh,
at least.
yeah.
Yeah. I like
Takes
how
them
they're
that long to
advertising.
make that shitty game.
It still didn't stop them from advertising about it at TGS. I'm
Well,
like,
they do that all
2
the
years
time at
later?
TGS. I mean, come on, when you and I went to E3, Duke Nukem Forever was
yeah.
being
Duke Nukem Forever was at this year's E3.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, when Brian and I were at E3, this
That
was what, like
96.
96. So, yeah.
They had the same steroidal guy there and his 2 bimbos. in
Hey,
front of the
you never
car.
know. I mean, Two Human finally came out.
Prey came out finally.
Prey came out.
Yeah.
And Two Human, I mean, they've been working on Two Human since the PS1, and it finally came out for the
Well,
360.
They had some
Daikatana
major
came out.
setbacks, but yeah, that was
Well,
like 10
no.
years in the
That's-
making.
Yeah.
That's probably not the best example,
And
Steve.
from what I understand, it's
None
not
of the
even
other
that
ones
good.
were great examples either.
Yeah. Well, they revised it so many times. I think they just lost stuff in the process.
So,
It's too
next
bad.
up, Konami announces a new Xbox 360 PS3 Castlevania. Will be 3D, but that's all we know.
Which means
Apparently,
it's probably going to fail.
well, the 3D Castlevanias on the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, I didn't really care for that
I didn't like him at all.
They should just
much.
remake
Curse of Darkness and
remake 64. There you go.
You
That
know,
was the worst
these
of the
3D
bunch.
ones are better than the ones on the 64, but it's still not saying much. I just didn't care for them.
Yeah, I noticed that Nintendo's not in a hurry to throw up Castlevania 64 on whatever it is. What's it called?
On the Virtual Console?
That's
console.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. They have Castlevania Judgment, the fighting game, coming out in less than a month.
Yeah, which
Which will be as
Excellent.
good as Soul Calibur Legions.
which apparently Kotaku hated when they played at TGS.
Well, there was no semblance to special moves. I mean, it's basically
so it
you
was
waggle for
Rise of the
90%
Robots.
match.
So was it Rise of the Robots?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you waggle and you
Rise of
pull
the
shit off.
Robots.
Well, Rise of the Robots, remember, had no special moves.
So
It
this
said it had special moves, but it didn't.
well, it has special moves. It just doesn't take any skill to pull off.
Oh,
It's like easy operation.
oh, yeah.
So, anyway, we have news that will interest Brian. StarCraft 2 to be a trilogy.
You know what I like about this footnote here?
Uh-huh.
The footnote is the developers faced an obstacle when designing the game. Yeah, you know what the obstacle was? They figured out it wouldn't have the same revenue as WoW, and so they had to find a way to get more money out of their players.
Well, that's not what That's not what Blizzard actually said.
No, but it's much more realistic than, well, we had too much game to make, and so we're going to make 3 games
I'm
instead
going
of
to
1.
give them the benefit of the doubt.
I'm
I would
still-
rather just buy one
I've-
game, but if it really is so massive that there's so much to it and
Yeah,
so many
but
campaigns,
The thing
I'm all
is,
for
it's
it.
got,
I'm
for
still
multiplayer,
mystified by
how is multiplayer going to work? In order to have efficient multiplayer, are you going to have to buy all 3 games?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. They're trying to get more money out of you by getting getting $150 out of you instead of getting 60.
Oh no, the two add-ons are going to be like add-ons. They won't be full games.
Well,
like
then they'll
this.
cost
I don't
$30
think they're-
instead of $50.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to
Or
cost
like-
you a full
or
50 or
like,
60 for the
Did you
second
notice this
versions.
Halo 3 prequel that's coming out next year? Halo 3 Recon. They're like, oh, here we go. It's a prequel. You don't play as Master Chief, and it's going to be $39.99, and it's a separate game. You have to buy another disc for it and everything.
Yeah, but the nice thing is it doesn't require you to own 3 or 2 or 1 or anything. I mean,
And
you
I'm
just a
still
separate
mystified by
game on its own.
StarCraft 2. I don't know what the hell I was watching. I think it was CNBC, actually, which is really fucking weird. But
CNBC every once in a while gets a hard-on for video game companies. It's very strange.
and I was watching it, and they were talking about StarCraft
Yeah.
in Korea. And I was
Yeah.
sitting there watching them go nuts like they were watching like a football game. And I'm like, you guys playing an RTS, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Korea.
Yeah.
I got started on StarCraft. It was my first RTS, so I've always loved the game.
So the 3 separate standalone titles will be Terran, Wings of Liberty, Zerg, Heart of the Swarm, and Protoss, Legacy of the Void.
Yeah,
I don't know if each one will be coming out separately or if there's just going
they
to be
are separately.
the
They're going to
StarCraft
be
2 base pack, and then you have these expansion packs.
they're going to be like expansion packs, but they're going to be spaced out so that you have to go through and play the Terran one first, and then 3 or 4 months later, I assume they're going to put the next one out, which will be the Zerg. and
Well,
so
3 or
on.
4 months is optimistic
Yeah,
considering
considering
Blizzard.
it's Blizzard.
Oh, another game I forgot
Who
about.
knows?
Fable 2, also. Shit.
They also you don't have it on here. They also announced StarCraft Ghost Legacy of My Ass. So
So what's the system requirements for that game?
well, let me tell you.
Windows 3.1.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty much. When 3.1.1, you need the work groups add-ons.
Oh, yeah.
so I know Brian, you're looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I am.
But as far as any other RTSs, is there anything else that's coming? Because I don't keep track of RTSs, so
Well, I'm kind of interested in the Halo RTS that's coming out. I just want to see how
Halo
the
Wars?
videos I've
Well,
seen
it's-
for it looks kind of cool.
Well, it's done by Ensemble Studios too, who made Age of Empires 3, which while I don't play RTSs because I really get pissed at them or bored, sometimes at the same time. But I heard great things about Age of Empires 3, so
It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be their last game too. So
well the studio's getting broken up from what I understand.
yeah, they're breaking them up and making new studios out of them, but it's at least they're going to still
Well,
support it. They claim so.
Because it's Halo, I'll probably pick it up and probably end up returning it to GameStop, or trading in at GameStop 7 days later because it's
just
still
go
an
rent it at
RTS,
Blockbuster
and
for
it'll
that matter.
and it'll still piss me off, and I'll get bored.
Just do
or-
like I did with Halo 3 and rent it for 7 days and then take it back when you've gotten all your achievements and you're fine with it.
No, Blockbuster won't let me rent from them anymore.
really?
Yeah, apparently I lost a copy of Ocean's 11 4 years ago, and they want me to pay them $80 for it.
That's way too much for that movie.
That's
I would just
that's
show
like
up with a copy of
4
it. You bought
Ocean's
it up at-
11.
I know, that's the thing. Yeah, and it was a VHS copy of Ocean's 11 too.
What? Okay.
This is
they were
back
still
when
making VHS.
This was back when they were still renting VHS tapes. I got it a year after it came out.
Wow.
And I rented on VHS, and yeah, and I don't know. I must have lost it or something, because they're saying, hey, you never returned it. I'm like, oh, okay. And
Oh.
now they want $80 from me.
No,
So.
DVDs are so cheap anymore. It doesn't even pay to rent almost anymore.
No.
You got a place to keep DVDs. You're paying 3 times the rental fee at this point to buy a DVD.
I mean, hell, if I
a new
need
release,
a DVD, I've got Netflix, or
Well,
hell, I'll just go to
I got it.
McDonald's and pop $1 in the red box.
Yeah. Although the red box usually has ass in it for movie rentals, so
Well, if I want, the mainstream stuff, right? If I want the harder to find stuff, that's what Netflix is for.
pretty much. Except when they have one copy.
Well,
If somebody
actually,
doesn't bring it back.
and you know
God of
me,
gamblers.
if I really, really want to see a movie, it's called mininova.org.
Well, yeah.
So
I want to put in this podcast a tell out to the asshole who stole God of Gamblers from Netflix. You can go to hell. Go to hell and die.
You can die. You can go to hell and die.
No, it's a fall in a hole and die, I think is the
You go to
one
hell.
you want to use.
You go to hell and you die.
I will kill you until you are dead.
What? All right, so next up, brainwave controlled game made by Square Enix.
this is the dumbest thing
It
you
is
could
the
have
dumbest
printed
thing.
up all day, Murdock.
This is
Okay, the only thing that
it's
would have been
brainwave
dumber
controlled
is a
and-
game I control with my dick. Okay.
yeah, it's brainwave controlled the same way that my
They actually showed a controller today on Kotaku that you wore around the rim of your head, just around your forehead, and it had little motion sensors in there that were supposed to sense when you moved and raised your eyes or something. And Kevin
this
was
is-
just failing at using it.
This game has colossal failure written all over it, man.
I mean, I'm all
Or
about
not Kotaku, it was
biofeedback games, but
Attack of the Show.
I'm all about biofeedback games, but this really looks like it sucks.
Yeah, these kind of games always fail.
It's just I mean,
We're not there yet.
it's just
Well, we are. We just can't put it into a $60.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
You can put out all the cutting edge games you want, but it doesn't matter if they're cutting edge technology if the technology still sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, like I said, we can do this. It just costs a lot more than $60 to do.
Yeah, that peripheral on Attack of the Show today was like $140.
Yeah,
It
it's like,
didn't
you know
even
what?
work that well.
Not so much. Thanks, though.
I'll stick with my mouse and keyboard
Yeah.
because I know I can just walk right into any game and use it right off and not have a problem.
So next up, our good friend Barack Obama apparently is doing campaigns in Burnout Paradise and what was the other game? Like Madden or one of the
It's a sports game, yeah. I think
It's
it's
like Blitz or something like that.
I don't know, but he's on he's.
No, I think they're
He's
both
had a bunch
EA
of
games.
EA games,
EA
from what I
games.
understand.
Well, that's what he
Oh,
does.
it's gotta be
EA.
Madden, then.
That's because EA are whores. They've always sold
Well,
ad
yeah,
space in
I
their
mean,
games, especially
I'm
for
all
their
about
own
that.
games. I remember playing one game, and I kept running by a billboard for Battlefield.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
Battlefield 2120 or some whatever.
20,
I think it was one of the
Yeah.
prior Battlefield games.
Yeah, 2051. Yeah.
You're seeing
Kept
an
running
ad
by
for the
that
next version.
billboard like 15 fucking times.
Well, I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, soundtracks that have actual signed bands are just advertisements for.
I think
Those
Sony's going to
ads,
do
yeah.
that with movie downloads too, where you'll have 2 intermissions in between every movie you download, and there'll be a
has,
couple
has
commercial
any political
ads.
figure done anything like this other than Obama before then?
Don't think
Not
so.
in a video game, but I mean, he's just renting
but it's
space.
been a- it's
They've
been a-
done it
No,
on they've done it for Sims.
The closest that would
online.
come to that, Mark Warner, the former governor of Virginia, who's running for the Senate in Virginia right now, he actually held a press conference in Second Life.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
they're not
Well,
Sims.
but
Second
these
Life,
are
yeah.
dynamic ads, right? After the election is done with, those ads will disappear, right?
I would
No.
assume. So.
Yeah, aren't they polled?
I think they're part of. I think there's some sort of downloadable.
They can't be part
thing.
of they can't be part of the game because they weren't in there when Burnout Paradise came out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
So they must be. So I mean, it's
That's
notable
kinda
in
wacky. They're selling individual
Yeah.
ads that change
yeah.
based on rental time.
Yeah.
Like you have like a 3-month.
So
span or
it's
something.
notable in the fact that it's the first time that you've had like a dynamic ad that was purchased, like the airtime was purchased for it. So
Wacky.
hey, Mark, want to go on to the next topic?
Sure. Oh
Instead of,
well,
doing
Brian-
whatever
well,
you're doing
So it's
over there.
about iPod.
John was playing with my iPod.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, neither do I. Don't ever
It's
repeat
not
that.
a
touch
code
that. You don't
for
know where
anything.
it's been.
Well, no, it's a touch, and I thought maybe you were dumb enough to buy an iPhone.
An iPod
no,
Touch.
Touch my iPod, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up, Assassin's Creed 2, now with swimming.
Yeah, frickin' time. How did that not make it into the first game?
Well,
Like any good thief
Dude,
doesn't
it's
know how to
it's
swim.
the same. I mean,
swimming
who-
takes too many colors.
It's like in GTA.
yeah, GTA. When you played 3 and Vice City, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you finally got San Andreas, and not only could CJ swim, he could. Hell, one of the missions is a fucking triathlon.
Like, yeah, you guys wanted swimming? Well, now you're gonna swim. I hope you like it.
I remember
you
that.
know what that means now is we're going to have to go find flags underwater.
Or in GTA San Andreas. What is it? They were clamshells
No, they're-
underwater? Or?
There's going to be Templars who are swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, in full
And sink
Templar
it in
armor.
Plate
yeah.
armor. That'll work out well.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's-
that'll be a cool way to kill a Templars. You
That-
knock them
that's-
into the water.
Yeah.
That's
You
fine
just watch
for
them sink.
Yeah, it's like
that's fine for Altair when you consider that he's got very light armor.
Altair, how dare you? I was thinking about
When you need to be a stealthy assassin, you don't really wear armor because it makes noise when you move.
Well, it's not going to be in the Middle East anyway now, is it? So the next one won't. It's supposed to be. In
What's the
Japan
deal with
next time or
Assassin's
something.
Creed 2? Is it like take
I think
place
it's supposed
right
to be in Japan
after?
or something.
Well, who knows? I mean,
Well, it's a
and let's not
sci-fi
forget,
thing. Chances are the theory seems to be that he's going to be there. He's going to be in some other past life thing.
It's gonna be Yakuza 4.
is
Yeah.
it not even going to be Altair then?
I don't think it will.
That would totally fucking suck because douchebag who you play as, who gives a rat's ass about him? But Altair.
Well, I mean, they can just do one of his other ancestors. His other ancestors can be
Who just
fat.
happens to be
kick-ass,
named
too.
Altair.
Oh no, I mean, he could
That's
be-
just his, street name.
I mean, Altair was cool and everything, but nobody was like, before he showed up. So they could have a totally badass other ancestor, and people were like, "Yeah, he's pretty badass." We won't know until we see it.
Yep. So, my comment on this is must be cumbersome to swim with a full head and robe on.
Yeah, that's clever.
Full hood.
Full hood, yes. That too. So next up, more fighting games for the Wii. Unfortunately, the new Toshinden
That's not a
coming
fighting
up for the
game.
Wii. Yeah.
Well,
The
yeah,
only
is that-
thing I
is that
mentioned
like-
for the-
Is that like Battle Arena Toshinden?
Yes.
Yes.
Same thing.
What?
Yep.
Those games sucked on the
I
PS1.
know they sucked.
Well, I mean, come on.
Toshinden's like the
Do you-
worst.
And guess
fighting
what?
game
They're gonna
series
suck on the
ever.
Wii too.
Oh my god.
Yep.
And
I
my
mean,
thing
really.
was
The
like,
Wii doesn't
why are
deserve real fighting games, so it's perfect.
well, Toshinden's barely a fighting game to begin
Well, that's what I'm
with.
talking about.
I mean, it's just slightly better than Fight for Life because you can control the characters, but that's about it.
What's next? Are they gonna bring back Bloody Roar too?
Yeah.
No.
What's wrong with Bloody Roar?
Yeah, what's wrong
Bring
with
back
Bloody Roar?
Killer Instinct too.
No.
And Primal Rage.
Oh
God.
god. Yeah.
They-
No. There we go. That's what we need. War Gods 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Pit Fighter.
Oh god.
Can you imagine Pit Fighter with the Wii? Just hold up the controller to block
Yeah, and
with your
your
armpit. That's
yeah,
why it's called Pit
and
Fighter.
and your reach of about not even the length of your frickin' elbow.
Yep. You gotta love those bitmaps, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, digitized graphics have probably come a long way
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah. The Wii could probably handle
Oh, there you
it
go. Hey, there's there's a new Street Fighter movie coming out, so we need a Street Fighter the movie the game 2.
now. Oh.
Well, the new movie just revolves around Chun Li.
Well, who cares? Give us
you know-
Street Fighter the movie the game 2.
Is it porn?
No,
Well, I'm not
unfortunately,
interested. Not interested.
no. At least the actress that they got to play her is kind of cute.
Yeah, she was Lana Lang
Who's playing?
She was Lana Lang for 7 seasons on Smallville.
Oh.
But since Smallville sucks, you probably didn't watch it.
I know who she is, though. I mean, I know what she looks like. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I would Dragon Punch it. I don't know what that means,
Plus,
but
no. Plus, she's like, she's half Asian, so she kind of can beat Chun Li. So.
Kinda. She's as much Chun-Li as Jackie Chan was.
yeah, he was Chun Li too. And
Yeah. You
City Hunter.
forgot that until I brought it up, didn't you? Aren't you glad I remember these things?
I own that on DVD.
We
Yeah,
all do. It was $5
all do.
at Target when we bought it, Murdock.
Yep.
I actually own the original VHS.
Wow.
All right. Enough talking about Battle Arena Toshinden.
Yeah, because the game sucks.
Toshinden.
So, Aya Brea returns for the 3rd birthday.
Yeah,
On the
cool.
PSP.
Wait,
Kind of
who?
neat on the PSP.
For those who don't know who she is, it's
Parasite Eve.
Yeah, don't care.
Parasite Eve 2,
This
I
might
did
be
not
kind
like.
of fun on the PSP.
Now, did you play Parasite Eve 2?
Well, didn't they make
I
a
own
Parasite Eve 3, but it was only for like cell phones?
No, they were
Some
supposed to
stupid
come out
shit
on
like
cell
that?
phones, and now it's supposed to be for the PSP.
Oh, okay. Well, at least
Thought
they
it
got
was
their
too big for a cell phone.
Hey, at least they get their head out of their ass. Why make a game? I mean, I know the Japanese go crazy about their cell phones. I mean, their cell phones, they're like a multimedia devices.
They blow you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wish
Literally.
they did.
Literally. You'd only get those in Japan.
Is
Some
that
of the free pair of panties.
Yes.
is
and
it?
and
Used.
a beer. And a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that closer to the sex droid things that
No,
you're wanting?
not really. No.
Okay. So
Unless you know some girls that look like cell phones.
no,
Yeah,
I
there you
I
go.
got
Yeah,
nothing.
see.
Wow, that was a really, I wouldn't call it an awkward silence, just a confused silence, I think is what I'd call it.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
You just
So
want to reach out and touch
so the
somebody.
next news item Brian already spoke about, but it was the $5 Darth Vader and Yoda downloadable stuff for Soul Calibur 4. Gee, what a surprise!
Yeah, let's squeeze a little more money out of you for the game you already paid for.
Oh, please, you knew it was coming. I mean, when the game first
They
came
could
out,
have
they
just
showed
made it a token code or something,
when the
or
game
turned
was
it
still
on.
coming out, they showed pictures of the two of them fighting. So obviously, it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
we
but
knew
they
it.
should make it part of an update or something where you just turn the game on one day and it's like, oh, your game has an update. Update, good.
Now that
I've
they
got
have the ability to make you pay for stuff, you're never gonna get anything for free ever again.
Unless it's called Aegis Wing 2. Yeah.
No, unless it's called The Suffering on PC, which came to us today courtesy of the U.S. Air Force. They apparently paid like $1.26 million or something for this download of this game, and now anybody can go on and download it for their PC. Granted, the game's like 4 years old, but I don't know the full story behind it, but I went and downloaded the game.
Yeah, I haven't-
Yeah, you
I
can go
looked at
download
that
all
thing
of
yet.
the original America's Army, too. That was free.
Yeah. I liked that one with all what the Penny Arcade said about that one, where it's all these video games that glorify violence, and America's Army game, which gets all sorts of crap for being considered propaganda, actually makes war look less glamorous.
Yep.
Surprise.
So our last bit of news.
Woohoo!
Microsoft patents real-time audio censoring. So basically, the U.S. Patent Office has granted Microsoft a brand spanking new patent to censor audio streams in real time. So for all the Xbox trolls,
I don't really understand
kiss
how
my
that
Yeah,
works.
besides, I think it would be. I love that Gears 2 Penny Arcade. When the guy was chainsawing the guy, and he's like, "Your mom is a classy lady."
Yeah.
I was
that's
like,
in a T-shirt now. By the
I
way,
was like, man, that would be like the most surreal Xbox experience ever if you had to go through that.
I don't really understand how this would even work, but
there's some guy in a room.
yeah, it's like the UN. The entirety of Xbox Live's voice communications is like the UN. There's one individual between you and everyone else.
It's
who
like
rewords
Macross. It's
everything
like the
you do.
pinpoint barrier.
Yes.
It's going to be one guy
The
with a
bridge bunnies are
trackball.
sitting there with a trackball, running around trying to make you not swear at people.
I could see that.
That's retarded.
No, it's not. It's funny.
I should be able to cuss on Xbox Live.
I don't really understand how they're going to do it. I mean, just because they got a patent for it doesn't mean it's going to work.
Well, that's true.
Like the other night, I was playing
Or
Rainbow.
just because they got a patent for it doesn't mean it's actually,
Well, you got to
a
remember
valid
too.
patent.
It's gonna look for certain words. So you're only gonna hear, or you're not going to hear rather, things like ass and fuck and whatever. But you're still gonna have those people that are gonna be saying words like, or groups of things like, cum bubble or some weird thing that you can't really censor.
All of Xbox Live is going to sound like an Orbitz commercial.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like, you mother fudger.
Yeah,
Boo.
It's gonna be funny because their database is gonna be
Trash-talking-
huge to
trash-talking
notice
and,
every
like-
word and stop it in time.
Yeah, it's going to turn into
It's ridiculous.
well,
No, but trash talking is like the quintessential to the gaming experience.
It is to a
that
point, but when
true.
you get some 8-year-old on there that's
Well,
never heard
yeah.
anything other than 4-letter words and uses them nothing but
Wait,
every other
you
word,
you
know.
listen to other people on Xbox Live?
No, see, unfortunately, whenever I get stuck with the 8-year-olds, they're just stupid kids who run in front of me while I'm trying to snipe somebody. It's like I'm about to like pull the trigger, and then boom, dumbass is in my sights. And
Speaking of that, have you seen the commercial for the new Call of Duty? Even though I'm not going to buy it.
Oh, World of War?
Yeah, have you seen the commercials for it? It's hilarious. There's like 5 or 6 guys who are sitting in a bunker behind some sandbags, and they see this guy up on a ridge, and he's firing him. He's like, stupid noob. There's no way he's going to be able to hit us from over there. He's like going, he's pretty funny. And then you start hearing thump, thump, and then one guy next to him goes, hey, what kind of gun is he using anyway? Thump, thump. He's like, looks around, and everybody around him's dead. He's like, crap. Pretty funny.
No, but apparently, even though it's not made by Infinity Ward, from what I'm hearing, is they pretty much copied Call of Duty 4. only they moved it to the World War II setting. Like, I guess you know how in Call of Duty 4, if you get 7 kills in a row, you can call in a helicopter, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this, from what I've read, I don't know if this is true or not. But if you get 7 kills in a row, you call in attack dogs who run and jump off.
Okay.
Was
yeah.
it like Narc?
Well, here's the thing that I don't really like about that though. If you like pre-order some shit, you basically get all the weapons at the beginning.
Oh, well,
It's kind of like the Guitar Hero nonsense where you unlock all the tracks. Like, okay, that's kind of lame.
So if you buy the game early, you don't have to play it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome. Well, with this news item, it's basically people are just going to be more creative. It'll just turn into like Penny Arcade. It's like, well, yeah, you're a Mexican Jew lizard or something like that. They'll just get creative.
That's what I'm
Mexican
saying. It's
Jew
not,
lizard.
They can't. There's the database would have to be huge, and then you'd find people using words like that, Mexican Jew lizard, where ordinarily that may not
Yeah.
seem like a bad thing.
Surprisingly
but now
enough,
it is.
Steve gets Steve's first words out of his mouth is Malacca.
Yeah, Malacca.
So, all right,
That was pretty esoteric.
it was.
Yeah.
On a weird side note, the Wii Music has the most random soundtrack ever, and I printed it out. But it's
You know what? I
just
think
really
some of
odd.
these are. I mean, some of these I don't understand, but some of them I think it's because they're royalty free.
Oh yeah, like the
So,
bridal
like-
chorus
Well, yeah,
or La Cucaracha,
yeah.
but Rogers and Hammerstein.
Well, it depends on what arrangement they're using.
Oh.
Because if it's old enough, then the arrangement may be copyrighted. But if they did enough changes to it, they may not actually have to pay royalties because the copyright is expired.
Ah.
It's
What's
like the Wizard of Oz. You know, the Wizard of Oz is not under copyright anymore.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah.
Really?
So, well, it's not because it was before the copyright extension was created, and
Mm.
so it expired. And so the Wizard of Oz, the book, is actually public domain.
Huh.
And as Face Off proved, you can have a gunfight to it.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you mention that?
Just because whenever anybody mentions Somewhere Over the Rainbow, all I can see is John Travolta and Nick Nolte, or not Nick Nolte, Nicolas Cage firing guns at each other in slow motion.
But the rest of these, I don't really like. I can't imagine that John Lennon songs and Madonna songs are very cheap to license.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Nobody's licensing Chariots of Fire anymore, so I'm sure that was cheap.
Well, think about it though. I mean, no, they probably weren't. They probably were because I mean, nobody's lining up to get John Lennon and Madonna on Guitar Hero or Rock Band or even the Konami piece of crap.
Well, it might depend on how they did it. If they did it with the statutory licensing, then they pay the same no matter what. But it depends on how they negotiated it, I guess.
okay. So next up, we have our video game discussion, and we're going to talk about the games that we always come back to. It's the games that we play over and over again, regardless of how old the game is. And Steve, is there a game that you...
Bunga bunga. Bunga bunga.
I just pulled out Puzzle Quest again for the DS. I still enjoy
You
playing
do
that.
not play... Okay. I can see you playing that, Bri, but Steve, you do not go out and play Bunga Bunga.
I know where the one Bunga bunga machine is in all of Colorado.
Yeah, it's
I
in,
drive
it's
all
in
night
your
to get
brain.
there. It's in Brian's basement in a secret panel.
Yeah. Stick your finger here.
It's okay. Remember, and this is for benefit of the audience. I actually put the picture of the flyer from Bunga Bunga on the website. Since we keep mentioning the game, it is not an insert a finger up someone's butt game. It is actually a spanking game.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been just playing classics in general. I still play Gyrus and Joust on Xbox Live.
But those are the
I
games
love
you
the old-
always come back to. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
they're classic things. Look
You
how
never get tired of-
long they've been out, and we still find ourselves going back.
see.
and
I
playing
know
them
that
again.
you're a big Gyrus fan, and you always like going back to Gyrus.
Yeah, it's a neat game. I've always loved that game ever since it came out on the 5200.
And Steve, any games that you just keep going back to again and again, no matter how old it is?
No, not really. Every once in a while, I still load up Burnout 3
Mm.
because you know
Yeah, good times.
that game really There's something about that game.
They did a really good job with it.
Lots of pieces came together and it became a very good game.
Mm. And
Plus, it's got a great soundtrack. You're like, hey, these guys were on that soundtrack.
Yeah.
They're really famous now.
Yeah.
You know? And it's
I
every
think it
track.
helped launch some careers
It's
there.
like every freaking track. It's like, hey, these guys were on that soundtrack. Hey, what the hell?
Yeah,
and
we
John,
didn't know
any
back then.
game that you?
Yeah, I don't really care for any of the Madden games, but I could play Super Tecmo Bowl to the end of time.
You just keep going back to that. No, are we talking the NES version?
No, the Super NES version.
Uh,
Where when you complete the first season, they actually have free agents you could sign and shit like that.
you still own that game?
Yeah.
Huh.
That and I think I guess I would say the original Super Mario Kart. That was on the Super NES.
And that's a game
Yeah.
you'll just.
Yeah, that and
That game's
and
fun on any system.
that and I have. Well, I didn't really care for Mario Kart on the Wii.
Yeah, that was probably the lamest
that-
version, but I
That and
enjoyed it on
I
every
will,
other system.
and even though it's a much newer game, I love Double Dash too.
Yeah,
And you'll just keep going back to it again and again.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Like, God damn, this game's fun.
they're great party games too. I never get tired of playing the balloon game. Where you're trying to pop each other's balloons.
My number one thing, Super Metroid. I could play Super Metroid until the end of time. It's just I just keep like every month I'll just pop in Super Metroid and just play it through.
Puzzle Fighter.
Puzzle Fighter was always
Puzzle
cool.
Fighter. I don't
We're
have
the
a
same
copy of
with
Puzzle Fighter right now,
Street
but
Fighter 3 too.
You can
I love
download
going
it on
back to that.
XBLA.
Could, but I don't play it that much.
Mm.
But I do every time I get a chance. I play it because I really enjoy that game.
Any more games?
Gem Fighter was good too.
Well, isn't Gem Fighter and Puzzle Fighter the same game?
And I guess
No.
one you could say too.
No, not the fight. There's a fighting
If
game
you're-
and the
you're
puzzle
talking-
game.
And if you're talking about fighting games, I mean, for me, the most fun fighting game of all time. I know you hate it, but I love it, and I can always go back to that. Is Mortal Kombat 2, dude.
Yeah, that's a really good game.
2 was the best one in the series.
2 is easily the best one in the series.
I still
Well, they got
the
all
only
crazy.
the
As
only
long
fighting
as your
game I s-
opponent, doesn't pick Johnny Cage and continue to just hit you with
Yeah.
the Johnny Cage nut punch over and over
You
again.
just pick a female character, then it's not a problem.
I'm the
Unlike
same.
you, I don't play exclusively as chicks.
Well,
I'm
you
the
can-
same way with
You
King
wait
of
till the other
Fighters.
person, picks a character, and if they pick Johnny Cage, then it's, Melina time or Katana.
Well, I
time
only
or
know
something.
like 3
Yeah.
character special moves, so I have to pick one of those 3, or else I get owned.
Katana-
I still
moves
do
are
the
pretty
same
easy.
thing
They're
with
worth it.
King of Fighters 98. That's still one of my favorite King of Fighters.
I
I think
I
that
s-
was one of the best in the series.
The only fighting game I still have a copy of from pretty much anything is Soul Blade for the PlayStation.
Yeah,
That's always-
Soul
Yeah, there we go.
Edge.
No, so I mean the original Soul Calibur. I have no love for the sequels, but the original Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast.
See, I didn't like Soul Calibur as much as I liked Soul Blade.
Yeah,
I thought Soul Blade was a much better put together game. Soul Calibur looked better.
As a matter of fact, when I
But,
crack out my Dreamcast, that's usually what's in there. It's just I need my Soul Calibur fix.
Yeah. With me, it's always going to be a cartridge-based system that I'll always go back to, but there's a couple CDs that I'll pop in every, that I'll just
Saturn.
keep playing. Well, the big CD game that I like playing over and over and over again is Lords of Thunder,
yeah.
which is an awesome
I just
game.
bought that for my Sega CD like a month or
Oh,
two ago.
man.
Finally.
Yeah, that and like Super Castlevania 4.
That
On the
was
Super
that was.
Nintendo.
I loved.
I
I
can-
loved
I can play that in, like,
Bloodlines also on the Genesis. I thought that was a great game too.
Yeah, that's a tough game too.
It's hard, but it's a lot of fun. They did a really good job on it for giving you 2 different
And is there
characters
s-
and different weapons.
The only Saturn game that I come back to again and again is an obscure game by the name of Musha. Well, it's probably not obscure to some of the
Yeah.
people that listen to the podcast.
I like playing Gem Fighter on the Saturn because that was the best version of the 2.
Now you're talking Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. That's the fighting game, not the actual block dropping puzzle.
No,
Yeah, you're right. I'm confusing. Yeah, Gem Fighter was the puzzle game. Yeah, Super. Yeah, the mini one was the right one. That was a lot of fun to play too. It was just really comical.
And I will say, Strider
Uh,
on the Genesis.
No.
No, it's not
no.
I like the
nostalgic, but it's
2-pack
not a
that came
great
out.
game.
The two.
It doesn't have to be a great game.
Yeah,
it's just a
even-
game I always like to come back and play all the
Even
time.
me, I mean,
Why?
like my favorite NES game. As much as I love it, I don't really see the need to go back and play it. I've played it like for people who've downloaded it because it's been remade and released on arcade, but I just can't bring myself to drop the cash on Bionic Commando Rearmed. And the original Bionic Commando is my favorite NES game.
Bionic Commando Rearmed is awesome.
You know
It's
what game
fun,
I
but-
can't go back and play. I tried to play it, and I'm like, wow, this isn't anywhere near as good as I thought it was. But I still have fond feelings of wanting to play it. Super Dodgeball.
Super Dodgeball is an awesome game.
And not anymore. The control sequence is very clumsy now.
There's some good
It's
arcade
improved.
games.
It hasn't improved. It's the same game it was 20 years ago.
No, there's a new version.
Well,
It's
I'm
got
talking
better
about the old version.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Can't
it's-
help you there.
The old version was like, God damn it, why can't I catch anything?
One game I never get tired of, and it's because I played in the arcade at 7-Eleven all the time, was
Black
Black
Tiger.
Yeah, loved that game.
Ah.
That, and I still play Metal Slug at home. I play
Well,
1 and 3 a lot. But I'm playing them on my arcade, so that's nostalgia. You're just going back and playing the
You know what I keep going back to and playing because I have nothing else to play sometimes? Heavy Weapon.
Heavy Weapon.
Heavy Weapon. It's an Xbox Live download.
Yeah.
Kind of like a really, really updated
You know, one of these
version
days you
Moon
should
Patrol.
actually just buy that game.
Yeah,
you keep
yeah,
playing
I've
the
got
demo.
Heavy Weapon too. Yeah,
Heavy Weapon's a pretty fun game.
I need to get on there and play with some people online again because that's to open some of the achievements.
It's a very simple but solid game.
Yeah,
You can sit down and play it for 10 minutes.
and
And
you
then
get
you're
like
done.
4 people going on it too. That's a lot of fun.
Okay. So are we done with this topic?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure, why not?
Okay,
take a
now,
fork in
John,
it.
have you seen any movies?
Yeah, lots.
Well, I meant video game related.
I tried to watch Postal.
Yeah, you told me about that.
I think it got to the part where like Dave Foley sat on the can and they just played farting noises for 2 minutes. I just
What, Dave Foley was in that movie?
yes. And
What
that-
the hell?
Full frontal nudity, Dave
Ah!
Foley. So you get to see him go sit on the can. Yeah. You get
Talk
to see
about
his
going
junk
postal.
in all its non-glory.
His junk.
Ugh.
Couldn't
I mean,
have-
the only-
Is there a news
couldn't have at
radio
least
involved?
Put on a dress or something.
I don't know, dude. I mean, the only cool thing is he like. There's a couple scenes where I will say, Yui Bowl got a lot of hot ass in that movie. There's a lot of hot chicks in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
well.
none of them can act or anything.
But it couldn't save it.
And also, the star of the movie is the guy who played Billy the Kid in Yui Bowl's magnum opus Blood Rain 2.
Oh God,
Wow.
But
recycle those characters.
I couldn't watch the whole thing. I will say one thing about it though. I've seen Meet the Spartans and Date Movie and Epic Movie. I haven't seen Disaster Movie, and I don't plan on it. I don't, and I didn't mean to watch those other 3 movies. It kind of happened by accident because they suck.
I was drunk and they looked better when I was drunk.
Or a roommate rented them, was like, "Here, watch this," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But
Beer goggles shouldn't apply to movies. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that.
But anyway, I never laughed once during any of those movies. I at least laughed twice for the 45 minutes I watched Postal. So Yui Bowl is funnier than the guys who make Date Movie and Epic Movie.
That's
Which
awesome.
proves that the comedic value of a movie is perhaps inversely proportional to how much money it will make.
Huh.
Because those guys make a crap load of money making the Disaster Movie. And
Well,
Date
Disaster
and stuff
Movie
like that.
only made like $6 million, so it
Yeah,
was a
but-
bomb.
It was here, but I mean, they'll do an international release and a home release, and it'll make money.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Max Payne this week. I'm probably gonna go see it Wednesday.
Dude,
Uh,
that
I just can't bring I can't bring myself to see it. I mean, every time I see a commercial for it and I hear that one guy talking, he's like, "The devil is building his army, and Max Payne is looking for something that God doesn't want to be found." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Shut up, dude!"
Yeah.
that probably
wow,
has
you just turned me off from this movie.
probably has nothing to do with the movie anyway.
It has, of course, it has nothing to do with the movie.
Well,
From-
that's nothing to do with the game.
Well, it has nothing to do with the movie either. From what I've read, it's just when he has visions of angels and stuff like that. They make you
'Cause
think
he's
there's gonna be,
taking a
angels
drug
and
is
stuff in the
why.
movie, but it's just that Max Payne, played
He's
by
coming
Marky
off a
Mark,
medical
has
high.
visions of angels and stuff. But they have nothing to do with the actual story. As a matter of fact, from what I've read from every review, there is no story.
Yeah.
And yet
Every-
it's number one
Which
in
is
the
too
box
bad
office.
I mean, they really could have tried to revitalize the film noir, Mickey
Well, you have to wait
Spillane
for the
type
spirit for
hard-boiled
that.
guy.
I mean,
but-
Mila Kunis is in it, and
Spirit's
while I
gonna
never
be
liked
worse,
her
too.
on that '70s show, I saw her in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and now that she's a little older and not playing a complete bitch on TV.
Eh.
I think she's pretty hot actually.
I thought she was pretty hot back then. It's just her character was really annoying.
So she's in it. So I mean, I wouldn't mind going to see it for her. But
Do it
actually,
for-
the funny thing is that Time.com actually released a 10 worst video game movies list earlier today. I found
Yeah,
it
I
on
saw
Dig. And number one was, of course, Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
They're like the first video game movie, the worst video game movie.
Surprise.
I don't know. I just can't bring myself to see it.
Go drink and then go see it.
No, because then that means I have to drive somewhere. So.
Well, take the bus.
Or you'll just wait for it to come out.
There's a
on,
few
like,
theaters
torrent,
out,
right?
theaters
Yeah,
out there too. You can
there
drink
we
at 'em.
go.
Get a taxi and then just tell them, wait here, I'll be back in an hour and a half.
I'll just wait till my friends at the Pirate Bay put it up. So
Your friends, huh?
they're everybody's friend.
They're pirates. They're not your friends.
They're everybody's friend. Like, here you go, free porn for everyone.
The pirates are
We
binary,
don't discriminate.
They're binary sluts.
Binary sluts.
Yeah, they'll give
So-
it to anybody.
So
you a
yeah,
one?
I figured there wasn't going to be a review for Postal anytime. So
I mean, I offered it to you to watch, and you were like, no, dude.
you still have it on your computer?
Yeah, I got it right over here.
I'll do a review on it, but it may take me about a year to watch it. I'll have to do it in chunks.
You might have to do that. I watched this one really bad movie called The Diamonds of Kilimanjaro, and I actually had to watch it like that. Actually, that's how I'd watch the MST of Manos, The Hands of Fate. I had to watch it in like 20-minute chunks.
I know.
It took me 4 days to get
Oh,
through
it's
it.
so slow. That movie was so hard. I had to watch it with a group, so I'd
And
be
that
able
was the
to
MST,
watch the
too.
whole thing.
Well, I don't even know why you try to watch it without.
Yeah.
Because it came with free Coke.
No, it's a crazy bread.
Or
And then
crazy.
Then he reaches into his pants.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
still warm.
It's been like
2 hours and this
since the
pizza's still
pizza's
warm. Torgo.
You forgot your complimentary crazy bread, and he reaches into his pants. You're like, no, that's okay.
So, I don't think there's any other video game movies coming out. I think Max Payne is the last one for a while, right?
No, there's
There's a few
Unless
in the
that
pipeline.
Yui
Castlevania
Bolt-
movie.
well, Yui Bowl made from what if I remember, I think he made a Far Cry movie. So
Did he really?
yeah,
How can why don't
They're
they
talking about a World of Warcraft movie now.
Why don't they just
and,
put out Commando and just call it done?
I don't know.
All
But,
right.
and Yui Bowl still takes advantage of that freaking German loophole. I mean,
I thought they'd close that up now.
no, he's still able to. I don't know how, but he's still able to take advantage of it. So basically, every movie he makes, it works out for him because as long as the movie loses money, and that's what he wants, he can write off the money that it lost on his German tax returns.
Yeah, well,
Awesome.
his financiers can write it off.
Well, yeah, whatever, but
Yep.
All right. So
Now that's-
we are at the reviews, and I have a review of Metal Slug 7, which is the most Metal Slug game on the
I'm
Nintendo
surprised
DS.
you went and bought it, Murdock, because it looks like it's coming out pretty soon over here.
Yeah, it's coming out in November.
Yeah. So wow, you got an import version that costs a lot more, like a month and a half earlier.
it was like $10 more, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like 47 or 48.
Yeah.
Eh.
So, but I also can read the Japanese, so not too big of a problem, or at least for me. So basically, you get to pick from 6 different characters: the Metal Slug 4, and then Clark and Ralph
Yeah, of
from
course.
Ikari Warriors /
Really?
King of Fighters are selectable in the game. And each character has their run and jump. Nice thing is that you can have 2 weapons, and you can switch between weapons at any time, or just use your heavy machine gun or whatever your default weapon is.
Can you use the Ikari Warriors cheat on them?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And the nice thing is that every character now has like a special hidden secret move, I guess. I mean, it's not secret, it's in the instruction booklet. But like, for example, you play as Fio, and you can have her crouch down, and out of her backpack, she'll have like this boxing glove on a spring, come out and punch one of the guys. I mean, it's pretty cool. But I mean, if you've played the last 6
Seven.
Metal Slugs,
Every Metal
7.
Slug.
yeah, this
There's
is
actually
going
been
to be
7
about the same.
before it.
They added a lot. They added a couple new weapons, and there's a combo system for scoring.
Can you get turned into a chicken or a zombie?
Not that I've seen yet.
Oh,
No, wait, there's been 8 before that, actually.
Oh yeah, there's
Because there's one on the
there's Metal
Game
Slug,
Boy before that, too.
yeah.
well, there's X also.
That's why I
Yeah.
said 7 originally, but there's actually been 8 prior to this.
Well,
Because there was the original metal or the GBA.
yeah. But I mean, as far as the game goes, I mean, it's a solid Metal Slug game, run and jump type game. The only thing I didn't
And
like,
it's still a goddamn quarter eater too, isn't it? Even though there's no place to put the fucking quarter.
well, I mean, you have credits and you only have a limited amount of credits. So once you're done with your 9 credits, it's game over. So it helps if you don't suck.
And a quarter eater.
Well,
It probably unlocks the full unlimited lives at some point, though.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like is, I mean, it has the full animation frames on the DS, which is really nice. So if you're a fan of hand-drawn, sprite-based animation, which I am,
The bosses look great on there.
I mean,
it really
animation-wise, it looks really good, but the backgrounds, really plain. I mean, there's not a lot of detail in the backgrounds. They kind of look like rendered blobs.
Yeah,
I mean,
think they
it's
focused,
not rendered, but it's just there's not the detail that you would normally see.
They probably focused too much on the foreground and the enemies. And
Yeah,
the
it
characters.
kind of loses somewhere. And also, the dual screen isn't used to any type of capability at all. I mean, the top screen is your action screen, bottom screen is just a map of where you are. And the things that you unlock in the game, like where the hostages are and your power-ups, they show up on the bottom screen once you've found them, so they're nice as far as reference goes. But beyond that, it really doesn't add anything to the game. So I would have liked them to, if they were going to use the dual screen, to maybe have screens that were, taller, which would have been kind of cool.
Or like Metal Slug Advance.
Yeah. Or, I don't know what they could have done with the second screen, but
Well, remember Metal Slug Advance? You had the one level where you climbed up the mountain. You actually used both screens because you were
yeah,
climbing
I
to
mean,
the whole top.
they
and
could have done what they did with
you had
Contra
enemies.
4,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, same with Contra 4. Plus, you got boss battles where you had the boss above you coming down as a helicopter or planes going by, so you had some sort of...
I mean, they could have used it to something more than just a touch screen. Which, I mean, you can touch, but it's just the map. They could have done more with it. But it's a solid game if you like the Metal Slug series, but I could see waiting on it. I mean, you would probably like it, but I don't think you would need to buy it when it first comes out. I think you can hold off on it.
Yeah, we'll see if there's like another blunt spot, between maybe January and March or something where nothing's coming out.
It
Good time
seems
to pick up.
unlikely with the console, with the launches that are coming out. So, any other reviews? I know you're still playing Warhammer, right? Steve?
Sporadically. I've been kind of distracted with other stuff lately, but
Sex droids.
no, sadly not. But I mean, it's been going pretty decent. They have a pretty interesting little thing where you actually get some of the servers are unbalanced between order and chaos, and so they'll put experience point bonuses on the other side to get people to join the other side on the server.
And speaking of Warhammer, it looks like they pushed the Warhammer 40K MMO back a year or two.
Yeah, not surprised.
Because it was set for 2010. Now they're
Yes.
looking 2011, 2012.
Well,
so.
I mean, the announcement that they were starting on that game came like 3 months ago. And then they were saying, well, we'll be done in like 2.5 years. Now, okay, the Star Trek MMO says it's going to be out in two years. And they're using a pre-made, engine. So I don't know how Warhammer 40K was going to be coming out in, less than 2 years.
That one was actually relevant to my interest. That and if BioWare and Knights of the Old Republic 3. Those are the two MMOs that I have any interest in. I mean, I played Eve, but after a while, I got tired of having to do so much shit in that game.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming how much stuff you have to do in that game.
So, Brian, you have anything for us?
Yeah, pretty just been
I've been the only
pretty
thing
much
I've
just
been
going
playing
back
recently.
and doing Carcassonne and Catan and Schizoid.
Hey, I need to beat you in Catan because I need to play with other people to get more achievements.
Well, we just got to invite each other too to get an achievement for that matter.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's one of the I was reading today.
Oh,
One
yeah,
of
you're
them's
right. One of
invite
the
a friend.
achievements is invite a player to join your game.
I have played 3 games so far, so I got the 25-point achievement, and
Oh, I've
I
played
got a
about
couple of the
maybe-
other ones.
That's as good as the one game that has "You've started playing the game." It's an
Yeah.
achievement.
Might as
Yeah,
well
that's
be
Soul
Airbender.
Calibur. That's Soul Calibur 4.
That's also the Simpsons, Simpsons game.
Congratulations, you turned the system on. You win an achievement.
But what was it? Yeah, I've played about maybe like 15 times now. I have realized something. I mean, I definitely have to play it on moderate now because easy is just too easy for me.
Yeah.
What game is this?
Settlers of Catan. And the thing is, the computer hates you on moderate. Once I get to 7 victory points, it will not trade with me. Remember the 3 computer? They're like, "Oh, you're too far ahead." I'm like, "Too far ahead? I have 7 points. You have 6. How am I too far ahead? You piece of
Well, by then
shit."
you should have the master township, and you should be getting 2 or 3 cards from every turn anyway.
surprised
So
they
you
haven't
just go
tried
in
to-
and trade on your
Well,
own
I'm surprised
ports.
they haven't tried to build expansions onto that, like Cities and Knights and Seafarers.
Yeah, I saw there was expansions for Carcassonne already. I guess I missed those when they came out, but yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done
Well,
something for Catan
you have to remember
also.
that Carcassonne, when we got it, it was for a free download. It was like a free download for like a week for XBLA.
I missed that. I had to
And-
pay for mine.
And that's the other one I won't. I love Ticket to Ride. It's one of my favorite board games of all time. But I just
I
just
actually
can't
played
get
the
it.
demo of it.
I just can't see playing it on. It just doesn't seem right to me playing it on the a video game system.
I'm really coming to appreciate like Carcassonne and Catan specifically because I don't have to pull the board game out and set it up. I can just whip right into a game and it's just like playing it.
Plus, yeah, or the Catan. I mean, yeah, if you can get the the $300 3D set that they made, for
Oh,
the 10th
the wood set,
anniversary.
yeah.
Can still find those occasionally. They're
Alright.
still like $200 $300.
I think
I've been
me and Brian and I are signing for the hell is that game? The Jump Gate
The beta,
Evolution
yeah.
beta.
Mhm.
There's an open beta and a closed beta. Did you sign up for the closed beta? Sign up as well.
I don't remember.
I'm signed up for that one. And I'm also signed up for the Star Trek MMO beta. So hopefully,
I
of
gotta
those
do
will
that
turn
too.
and
Are
then,
you going to see the new Star Trek movie?
I saw the. I'm gonna try not to go through.
There's a heavy
big-
sigh before
there's
that.
a
Did you
big
see the
rant.
pic-
I
did-
saw the
I'm
pictures
gonna be
for it. and
seeing it.
I
I'll see
really
it.
liked the character designs. I liked the makeup and costuming for the characters. I did not like the set design. I thought the set design looked not like Star Trek.
I will
I'll
say
be there.
Carl Urban, just the way he carried himself, he looked exactly.
Well, they look really good. I mean, you're like they don't look like the original characters or like the original actors, but you look at them, and you're like, oh, that's such and such character.
Yeah, they understudied the original actors really well.
Well,
from what I was reading.
except for Harold Sulu there. So
Well, yeah.
that's the one that really threw me off. Seeing
Well, they would have to find another gay Japanese guy, you know. And
so instead they got a Korean guy who makes the Harold and Kumar movies.
yeah, pretty much. But the problem is the set designs aren't done by Okuda anymore, and so it doesn't look like Star Trek anymore. It looks like frickin' Lost in Space or something.
That movie
Stupid.
sucked.
We'll see.
Danger
And then
Will
Murdock,
Robinson.
The one game I've been playing on a regular basis is when we went up to Boulder a few weekends ago, I picked up Final Fantasy III for the DS, and I'm surprised how much I'm really enjoying it because I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan.
Well, that was the best one in the series. On
6 is still the best.
Well, no, I mean on the DS, they said that was the best remake. A lot of that one just sold out everywhere.
Well, it's back to the old school.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say it's hard for me because one of the things I loved about 12 was no more fucking menus, except at the start, right before you get to you unlock the thing or you do that. But even then, to like use magic and stuff. But here's the thing: I don't have to do it if I don't want to, and I can go in. That was the great thing about 12 is that I could set my
Your-
gambits, and all that, and it made life so much easier. It made grinding a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to go to play something after 12 because 12 really automated a lot of the mundane
I
tasks.
really
of RPG.
like the gambits. They really changed the way I played the game. And, you know, I mean, this, though, I guess because it's on a handheld system and it feels kind of retro, it doesn't bother me as much.
Mm.
But if I was to ever play this on my PS2, I'd probably want to chuck my PS2 out the window after playing 12. Because I tried playing one game. I forget what it was. Oh, yeah, Blue Dragon on the 360.
Well, that game sucks.
Well, not only did it suck, I realized that, yeah, guess what? I'm sick of drop-down menus after Final Fantasy 12.
So, is that it for the podcast?
I just wanted to add that I'm sure that Star Trek movie will make $1 billion because
Well,
it's like Star Trek and it's J.J. Abrams. And
Well, the first real trailer for it, not the teaser trailer that they showed a few months ago, but first real trailer for it plays in front of the new Bond, so we'll see.
all right.
Yeah.
I'll do a review next podcast for Sins of the Solar Empire also.
Oh.
So just
And
got a
Murdock,
copy
if
of
you
that
want
from a
something to
friend.
review for it, because the next podcast is on the 3rd, and if you want, I'll let you borrow it when I pick up Ace Frontier, since you can actually read the fucking game.
Well, I'm sure there'll be something on GameFAQs by then.
We'll see.
But I already know the game I'm going to review next time because it comes out Wednesday. Order of Ecclesia, Castlevania. By the way, whoever designed Shinoa, the main character chick for that game, I need to meet this person and like kiss them on the cheek.
Yay!
It's designed really hot. Oh, I don't care. It's like, thank you for designing a really hot female lead.
Yeah, you can just go to Roger's store and buy a lot of 3D figures that are, a lot more 3D.
Okay. I know. I saw his recent
Yeah, he just got a big
haul
consignment.
His recent consignment
of smut.
of smut 3D models.
By the way, Roger will be joining us for a future podcast, probably in the next one.
Ah!
What was that for?
It's Roger.
Okay.
Roger doesn't have a lot of money. Roger doesn't care about a lot of the games that you like. I mean, Roger is content to play Overlord on his 360.
Hey, he likes Overlord. As long as he likes it, that's cool. So
Just, what a waste of time that game was.
well, yeah, but he is allowed to like different games than you. You are not the master of video gaming. You're not Captain N.
I should be.
Yeah, really.
Oh, we've
Then
all
I
got
could
a
meet
dream.
Link and Zelda and hang around with Faye, Simon Belmont.
No, I'd be totally banging Princess Lana. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud.
I'd be chasing Samus.
Samus was
Yeah, but
the
then she does that ball thing, and then
Yeah.
you're,
Oh, come on. Why you got to go all
I
porcupine?
left something in there, and I don't think it was my car keys.
It was like a
It's like
hatch
fucking
or
a
something.
tank.
What's up with the armadillo treatment? Come on.
All right, is that it for the podcast?
Hatch
All
Try to
right.
shine your
or
armor.
portal or something.
Yeah, there's a note to end on.
So, okay. Well, thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio.
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.